everybody! It is Wednesday! How are we doing tonight, folks? Welcome to Wednesday. Hey, kitty. How are you? Kath is with us. Good evening, Kath. How is everybody's hump day? It is hump day, people. We're going to the other... Hey, Luann! Howdy! Great to have you here live. Great to have you here live. Hey, Dennis. Happy hump day, Kelly. Hey, Adele and Dazzler here. How is everybody's Wednesday? What are you grateful for tonight? Tell me about it. I want to know. The group wants to know. We want to know what you are grateful for this Wednesday. Oops, I'm hitting the wrong button here. Karen! Home after another 11-hour day, but a profitable 11-hour day. Cassandra's still working, if that makes you feel any better, kitty. I definitely do feel for you. That'll be me tomorrow. I think I start around 4, something like that. Tomorrow, we'll see. So I will have a long, well, I hope to be home earlier tomorrow, is my hope, but who knows. Yeah, I'm grateful for every day, you know, and it's weird because especially when I'm remote, when I'm not on site, you don't get the real feel of what the traffic feels like in the store, the energy of the people that are there, or, you know, how big the cart really is coming up to the register. I mean, I can see the cameras, I can pull up a camera and say, oh, there's a bunch of people in the store, or there's really not anybody. But overall, the sales continue to be there. So that's really the ultimate judge of it is money in the register. So as long as that keeps flowing, we are good. We are good. I'm happy and grateful for each and every transaction, each and every item that leaves the store. No matter how big or how small, I am incredibly grateful for that. So, incredibly grateful. I can't stress that enough. My viewer screen is being weird today. Keeps on going on and off. How are things in Canada, Karen? Tell me about Canada. How are things up there, north of the border? The closed border, but the border. Great to have you all here. And great to hear all the good stuff that's going on in your guys' world. I mean, I'm truly grateful for that. I mean, we're almost halfway through October, Rocktober, where we're rocking it. Remembering October is the new December. October is the new December. So, you know, we're going to rock this all the way. And I got a lot of stuff about that today. Had to scrape your windows, your wind hooks. Yeah, isn't the test, we had one employee tested this week too. I didn't think she had it. But again, you know, I mean, windshield. Oh, I don't like that, Karen, that you had to scrape your windshield today. No, I do not like that. But people buy, that makes people buy winter clothing, which I do like. My screen keeps on going on and off. It's really weird. Yeah, but the COVID tests, people are getting tested out of abundance of caution. You know they have just a regular cold, or they have a stomach bug, or they have something, and they're testing. Nevada is actually incentivizing people to get tested. Nevada, if you go to Nevada, you can get paid $20 to get tested. That is what I like to hear. That is what I like to hear, Karen, is that sales are phenomenal. But they may not always be. We don't know how this is all going to play out, although it's going to play out better in Canada than it is in the United States. I'm just saying. Because it already has. And I don't think you're going to go nuts backwards. But yeah, Kitty, we had one that was cleared to come back today because of her COVID diagnosis. So was negative. So that is a wonderful thing, you know. Never has negative been so nice. Although I gotta say, in one of those, I gotta post it. I have it on my desk to post the pictures of what the hospitals are doing with their scans and their video scans. I showed the pictures briefly, but I have the heat scans and I have that. And one of them actually, when you walk by it, it says you're normal. I'm like, will you call my mother? I mean, my mother's been dead for 3 years now, but I mean, will you call her and tell her I'm normal? The machine says so. So, yeah, it is truly great the way you guys have contained your bubble up there. It is phenomenal. It's a great example. It's a great example of containment, and it's not for nothing. You have people coming and going. I mean, you have those ships coming and going all the time. You have a decent amount of people coming and going, so that are not Newfoundlanders. Oh, let's just say Canadians who want to live all the way up there in the hour-and-a-half time zone. I'm never going to get it right. It's not like you're a complete bubble, because you do have people that come from other areas. I mean, what is it? When I was looking out the shore, the next thing I saw was Ireland. Right, you do your part and keep it safe, and it's good. Hey, Gary from Loyal Shops is tuning in tonight. Thanks, Gary, for tuning in. Great affiliate member of NARTS. Thanks for joining the show, and thanks for being a loyal affiliate. How's that? How did I turn that? How's that for marketing? Oh, great to have. Let's kick this show off, people. My tongue is tied here. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we kick off this show every night. And tonight we are on page 108. 108 tonight. Good morning. You are stunning. Use your power wisely. I love it. Love it. All right. Remember, October is the new December, or at least this year, and if we rock December too, God bless. But right now, October is the new December. I want to talk for a second, and not in my feed today, so obviously, primarily today is the last day of Amazon's Prime Day. And I wanted to talk about that for a minute because it shows some of the symptoms of supply chain of traditional retailers. And no matter what Amazon wants to say, under law in Massachusetts, they are not considered a retailer by law. They had themselves excluded from being a retailer. Okay? But let's look at this for a second. Let's step back for a second and look at it and say, Amazon is having its supply chain issues too, as are most traditional retailers, for one reason or another. Okay, because of the virus, because of orders that were canceled or late paid, or the virus over in China and Asia, or things coming over on the boat slower. There is huge supply chain issues going on. So, for example, on Amazon today, if you were to go and try to order one of Amazon's signature devices, which are always on sale on Prime Day, like the Amazon Echo, so that you can just say, "Hey Alexa, do this," or "Hey Alexa, turn on the lights," or "Hey Alexa, call Karen." All those things. They're on their primary one, the Amazon Echo Dot, which is their signature product. Okay, is back ordered till December. Okay, and under it says ships in 3 to 6 months. So they're one of their signature items, and there's examples of that on Amazon's site throughout it. So you're giving them your credit card today, going to get shipped in 3 to 6 months on all sorts of things on Amazon. And now it may, as their supply chain issues work out, you may get it delivered sooner. But the reality is there's real supply chain issues in traditional retail. And that's something to take into account, okay? Especially in your acceptance process. So, you can't, as much as I try, you can't sell what you don't have. So what are you doing in your acceptance process to continue to rock this year? Okay, I said months ago, there'll be stores in here that tune in on a regular basis that end the year up, and that's gonna happen, okay, even with being closed for 3 months. Okay, there's still going to be stores in here that end the year very good, and there's going to be stores that end in the middle of the road, and that's all okay. But the way you do that is by having the inventory to be able to sell in the first place. So what does your acceptance policy, what are you doing to make it easy to clear out with you? Okay, so that they're not choosing someplace else to clear out, and you're taking it now, so that you have supply when people go to these other stores or order online, or December comes and their order is still back ordered from Amazon or Macy's or Target. It doesn't matter where. There's supply issues across the retail spectrum, but there is not a supply issue in your backyard if your processes, if you and your processes make it easy to consign with you or sell to you if you're a buy outright. So what are you doing, okay, to make that easy, okay? To hit the easy button, not to use a Staples slogan because we don't like Staples, but to hit the easy button on your supply chain, okay? Are you, doing something for luxury, if you're purses, are you doing luxury purses, okay, with no appointments and an extra percentage or extra something to get people in, a coupon to a local restaurant, or a giveaway. All consignments this week get an extra, get entered to win a takeout gift certificate because a lot of people still don't want to go out to eat. What are you doing to keep that supply chain humming, and even have it humming at a higher level than you normally would? Because the fact that people are going to be shopping, okay, for things this year is huge, okay? That they're not buying event tickets, that they're not taking a trip, that they're not, buying people gift certificates to their favorite restaurant. All those things are off, okay? That is not a 2020 thing, okay? So those things are not happening, okay? So then people are buying stuff, and we covered last night that the number one gift is the apparel category this year. And even furniture is in the top there. And people are spending more. So they're spending about a third more this year than they did last year, it's expected. Last year's hard numbers, this year's estimated numbers. But the estimates are big. Okay, that people are going to spend on average about $1,500. That's real money. That's real money, and it could be spent in your store if your store is ready. So keeping your supply humming so that you're constantly having new stuff hit the floor. I mean, we have been on our process. I really wish our fall conference was here this year, instead of last year, so that I could show you the difference in well, maybe I'll do a video tour of what's happening in our warehouse for those of you that were here last year and saw, even for how efficient we were, we're even more efficient this year, and we're just plowing through it, and it's selling. which is always good, and more is coming in, which is also good. So, but you have to keep that flow going. And I know it's hard. I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. Okay? I know, like Kitty, she's coming off another 11-hour day. I know these days are not easy. Easier days will come. Okay? But I want you to have the pain of these hard days. I want you to have the pain of these hard days. Not only so that you can better appreciate the easier days, okay, because those easier days will come, okay, but that so you and your business are still around for the easier days. I want you to be able to make hay while there's time to make hay, okay, while there's the opportunity to. And if that's at Amazon expense and Macy's expense and Kohls expense and Wayfair's expense and other people's expense that don't have the inventory, well, shame on them. I can't help them. They could tune in. They could tune in right here. We could learn about local sourcing, and we're going to cover that a little bit too. What some of the big guys are doing. But this is how we keep it all local. This is how we keep everything moving, and this is how we keep your business there because you're the one with the product, okay, and constantly promoting your extensive selection. So that is really huge, and that's a huge part of what I wanted to talk about, or the tangent that I got on. Nice, Kitty. See, that's awesome. Once Upon a Child is not taking new suppliers, and Kitty's getting all sorts of people that didn't even know about her. And I bet you some of those are coming directly from Once Upon a Child, where Once Upon a Child told them to come to you, which is great. I mean, and especially considering you started in kids, okay? And that was where it all began for you. I never forget, that we started in kids. I mean, for all the other things that we sell, it started with a Little Bear logo and, size 2 kid snowsuit was the first item sold. Way back when. We're about to start, what, year 23? We're about to start year 23. So I'm incredibly appreciative of our history and our future, because the future is bright, people. The future is bright. We have to get through these hard days. We have to get through these 11-hour days, 18-hour days, 15-hour days. Not all of us can be like Karen and get told, hey, we have too many people in the store, you can't come to work. We all dream of that problem, but not all of us, that's not going to happen to all of us. But that's great, Kitty. That is a wonderful thing. And you will have better inventory and better things than they do. So, and that'll just continue to grow. So, the accepting and keeping that flow moving, okay, even when it looks like you have a wall of stuff behind you. I mean, I could feel you see when I've done these broadcasts from the warehouse, typically it's totes of home decor behind me where I stand at the warehouse. But I could go out into the main warehouse area, and there are baskets piled to the ceiling. We have, let's call it on average right now about 2,000 baskets of clothes waiting to be processed, somewhere in there. But we'll get through that in under 30 days right now. We're really doing a great job with that. And we're doing the full circle where it's going up on our website with the clothing. We still got to work on our flow with shoes and some of the other stuff, but all the home decor, the overwhelming majority of clothing's going up there, on and on. Because we want to meet our customers wherever they are, wherever that customer is, however they want to do business with us, online, over the phone, in store, curbside, I guess carrier pigeon. We would try it if somebody had one, although I don't want to clean up the bird poop. However people want to interact with us, we want to be there to interact with them. We want to be there to serve them. And in these days, you really have to work it, more than another, and you're doing it. So keep it up, because that's going to make the difference, not only in October, but November and December, as we continue to just push our way through this. Because there's only one way through this, to the other side. To the other side, people. I thought this was a great employee quote. When we tell people to do their jobs, we get workers. So when you tell people to do their job, we get workers. When we trust people to get the job done, we get leaders. Let me read that one to you again. When we tell people to do their job, we get workers. When we trust people to get the job done, we get leaders. And, that's really one of the lessons I talk about, because it's not just in leaders, okay, but when you hire somebody and you trust them to get the job done, okay, and you don't worry about the minutia in it, you worry about the goal of it. You don't worry that they're going to become exactly like you, because nobody's that crazy to be just like you. Okay, you got to be a super crazy person to, go into debt, borrow money, take your family savings, open a business, hang a sign out there with your name on it. That takes a special kind of nuts, okay? The people you hire are not that, okay? They're just average muggles for my Harry Potter people out there. They're just muggles, okay? And, so when you allow them to do and rise to their level, when the bar is set appropriately, okay? Not equal to you, but, 80% of you is a mere mortal. And when they achieve that, they continue to rise above and beyond that. They can do it. They truly can. Our friends at Kohls. Kohls is changing up its holiday assortment as consumer demand shifts to cozy and comfort products. The department store, which began offering seasonal deals as early as last week, announced that it has seen an increase in searches for slippers as well as stocking stuffers and matching family pajamas on its website. As it seeks to broaden its portfolio, Kohls has added a roster of new brands, including Tom Shoe, Land's End, and Lauren Conrad Beauty. What's more, the retailer is rolling out its Curated by Kohls pop-up, a selection of products from emerging apparel, accessories, and home brands, to 300 stores during the holidays. The program made its debut at 50 Kohls locations last October. The holidays are well underway at Kohls, and we're excited to offer an assortment that speaks to how our customers are living today. We're trying to hit things that are resonating with our customers today, including all things cozy and comfort, home, active, and toys, and looking at things that will excite and inspire our customers. Excite and inspire. Where are you going to go for what's the hot destination for apparel? Where are you thinking is going to be? I'm going to tell you might just be the new hot destination for apparel. Any thoughts on where I might be talking about? It's not what you think. I'll tell you that. Who is the next hot place for apparel? I think I got you all asleep here. I know why Kitty's tired. Well, they are predicting that one of the new hot destinations for apparel could be Target or Walmart. And why are they saying that? Well, and they throw Tractor Supply in there too. Target, Walmart, and Tractor Supply might not seem like the coolest place to sell apparel, but brands can't afford to be picky these days. Okay. Yes, Kelly, Target. Okay. And Levi Strauss is the latest to embrace them. The denim brand plans to expand its presence to 500 from 140 Target stores by next fall. Levi's has been selling its lower-priced Denzian at Target for almost a decade, but began selling its more expensive main label at the big box retailer last year and is happy with the results. It's also launching a separate partnership with Dick's, and they're looking to others. And part of the reason they're looking to these places, Target and Walmart, is who were the winners during the shutdowns? Who have been the economic winners during this? Okay, your Targets, your Walmart, your Tractor Supply, your Dick's Sporting Goods. These are your winners. Okay, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. So if you're looking for someplace to sell your wares and you want to be with a winner, it's smart of these bigger brands to be looking at that. Obviously, it runs the potential of devaluing their brands or their better products. But it is certainly one to watch, and to watch how these brands interact with them at these stores. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on and seeing what these brands do with it and how that'll affect things. Yeah, I remember back in the day through JCPenney, but I mean, they're losing all those outlets. They're losing the Pennies, they're losing the Macy's, or the sales weren't there this year, okay? The death of the department store is wildly overdone. The department store is reinventing itself. The department store is right-sizing, okay, with a country with too many stores, but it's far from done. Absolutely, Rose. There's nothing to be intimidated by. We need big stores to survive. We need big stores for inspiration. Okay, I am all for that, and the small stores too. I am always, what can I learn from these big guys and scale down to me? What can I learn from the little guys and scale to me? Okay, it's all about adjusting ideas to work in your environment. And it is so extremely important to look at and say, how do we do that? Okay, how do we adjust this? But being aware of what they're doing is so important. Okay, you can't stick your head in the sand and say it doesn't matter. It matters to the extent of at least knowing what's going on. Okay, because there's also the perception that if you sell, okay, let's just go extreme here for a second. Okay, if Louis Vuitton started selling at Walmart, okay, there would be a real lower value to Louis Vuitton. Okay, people do not equate Walmart with Louis Vuitton or the quality of Louis Vuitton in product. So even if they had a lower end product, that would devalue the brand. So it's a balancing act between keeping your brand value, okay, and getting sales and market share and going where the customer is. And obviously, you know, that is part of it. That is part of it because that's where the customers were during this pandemic. That is not where they're always, and there's a huge amount of people looking to spend their money small this year. So let's keep an eye on that. So Resale is going to continue to rule, and I've got an interesting new player in resale too. And it's part of why, but part of what these big guys do will help gain further acceptance for resale and will help drive us, and it's also going to drive us from $20-something billion industry to a $50-something billion industry in a couple of years. There's a good reason why that number, it's such a big jump, okay? Because one, yes, resale is going to thrive, but it's also because of the way other big players are getting in or trying to slice a piece of it. They won't do it the same. They won't do it to that as their core product, but they're trying to have it, to have something for everyone. Just like many of you carry some small amount of gifts or other items new in your stores. So that's why some of the big guys are starting to carry something used, okay? Because it's where it's a good thing. In the continuing battle between Louis Vuitton and Tiffany, an interesting side development. Louis Vuitton is still trying to avoid the transaction and walk away from it, but the European Union said that Louis Vuitton won antitrust approval for buying Tiffany's, so that the EU won't fight it on antitrust grounds. Louis Vuitton, LVMH is still fighting it, okay, but they will not face any problems with the EU. Still not sure where that's going to go, okay? I don't know that ends well no matter what. And I don't know, well, I'm assuming the guys at Tiffany's have a nice exit package, because if LVMH is forced to buy it, the people at Tiffany's at the head are most certainly gone. Just to go, I got that too. That's important. Another important thing on Prime Day here, we might as well cover it. It is that Amazon workers are petitioning. Amazon itself has not joined the Alliance on Voting to give workers time to vote. And workers are circulating a petition to demand time off to vote. It'll be interesting to see how Amazon responds to that. They've been on the bad side of the White House a lot of the time and used as a bad poster child a lot during this administration. So it'll be interesting to see how Amazon responds to it. So far, they're just kind of ignoring it. But this is a big deal. A lot of big companies are making a big deal of giving their employees time to vote this year. This year more than others. A lot of companies have done it for a long time, but it is a big thing. And there's a lot of people watching that, and so we'll see where that goes. And it's just interesting. Of course, they're trying to make hay with it by announcing the petition drive on Prime Day. The employees are trying to get noticed on a day when Amazon's trying to make lots of money. And I'm sure we'll hear about that by tomorrow, of how much, how many gazillions of dollars they've already made on Prime Day. So who is the latest entrant into resale? Who wants to enter? What big guy is entering the resale market? Any guesses? Directly entering the resale market in their stores. Any guesses on who? Trying to be interactive here. I won't push you guys tonight. You're tired. Ikea, the Swedish meatballs, are going into resale. Ikea is entering the resale market to find new ways to acquire customers. Ikea is testing out a new way to incentivize customers to come to its stores during the holiday season. The furniture retailer announced on Tuesday that over Black Friday it will be hosting an event called Buyback. where it will encourage customers to bring in old IKEA furniture for the retailer to resell or recycle in exchange for store credit. So this is Black Friday weekend. Hey, get some meatballs with that, Kelly. It's customer acquisition. It's getting people in the door. Your traffic is down. How do you get people in the door? Okay? And so they are trying to get people in the door. It's all about customer acquisition. And so they will give you store credit. Hang on a second. Let me see. I forget whether this told me how much. Hang on a second. Glasses on. They're attempting to gin up more store traffic and explore new and untapped channels. It's also going to be testing out subscription furniture this year. IKEA furniture doesn't last long enough to be subscription. IKEA is partially billing this as a sustainability move, but also this is really to reach new customers. Ones who previously only bought secondhand furniture out of environmental or financial concerns. They're also testing in Sweden a secondhand furniture store later this year. IKEA is billing the event as a way to eradicate waste and help promote a circular economy. But IKEA's efforts to build out a resale business coincide with its efforts to encourage customers to buy beyond the four walls of its huge suburban stores. Indeed, despite e-commerce sales rising, IKEA sales were down overall at its most recent earnings report due to store closures. While resale is booming in apparel, it's yet to hit retailers that focus on larger, expensive, and bulkier items. Much of the activity in resale is up until this point focused in apparel and accessories, thanks to the rise of startups like The RealReal, Poshmark, and ThredUp, as well as retailers like REI and Patagonia launching their own resale business. To an extent, secondhand furniture was a more established market than fashion, but sales, traditionally conducted on an informal basis at yard sales, thrift shops, and by sales to friends. But during the pandemic, more people have started turning to sites like Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and Apartment Deco to offload furniture as they prepare to move or to score a good deal on secondhand furniture. Furniture listings on Facebook Marketplace, for example, have increased 100% since April. That bodes well for traditional brick-and-mortar retailers like IKEA or like you, looking to get into the resale space for furniture. By being the central hub, IKEA gains a bunch of advantages, noting that IKEA might be able to gain some new customers, people who might otherwise have gone to destinations like Facebook Marketplace to buy secondhand furniture. Selling secondhand goods of any kind is logistically complicated because retailers have to clean any items before reselling it. But with furniture, there's the added challenge that because the items are bulkier, there's a greater likelihood that they could become damaged in transit. Getting employees to manually inspect each item could be time-consuming for IKEA stores. This introduces more processes to a business that has generally worked on the basis of uniformity and simplicity, which allows them to keep costs low. Up until now, IKEA has built a fan base for its low prices as well as a store layout that encourages people to spend as much time in its stores as possible. IKEA stores have a maze-like layout where customers have to snake their way through the entire store, past a variety of furniture displays in order to get to the checkout. They hope being that customers will discover products they didn't know they needed. IKEA stores also have restaurants and a play area for children to encourage families to spend an afternoon there. Historically, the treasure hunt format has worked well. So yes, IKEA, your new resale store. Yeah, I mean, we do well, and we do better with IKEA furniture when we don't label it IKEA furniture, quite honestly. Okay, we can fetch more for it when we don't label it IKEA, and it sells faster because there's still that they do make some nice things, and and it's nice, quite honestly, getting it all assembled. So when it's selling in your store, it's typically all assembled. But people, there is that to your better customer that feels that that is a substandard furniture. Okay, that no matter what, just by having the IKEA name. So many times we have done better by not labeling it IKEA. Okay. From a sales perspective. Not to lie about it, but not to advertise that that's where it came from. And we can fetch more money for it that way, typically, too. So, there you go, folks. You know, this show and everything we talk about here goes over to narts.org/resalestrong by noon the next day. Noon! It's there on the page, all the resources, I reference are right there. These videos are there with a link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can get all the videos and you can like, comment, and subscribe and ding that bell so that you can get notified as soon as a new video drops by noon the next day. Thanks to Cassandra and Adele making all that happen. I am here every night at more 8 than ish, live in the Narts private Facebook group, updating you on the latest that's happening with everything and taking your questions live. Okay, a special just for you. If you have a question between when I'm live and when I'm live again, you just email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, Neil@ECIstores.com. That's where you find me. And make sure you share this with everybody, because we want to get everybody to the other side of this. Everybody's got to get there. And the way we get there is by sharing. So we're helping all our friends and neighbors get to the other side. It is so important. Hey, Kath, I'm going to have your husband come put stuff together for me then. I like that idea. Thank you for loaning your husband to the industry. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start. On page 108 tonight, if you're following along while you're on vacation in the Blue Ridge Mountains, maybe you found a copy there and you're following along. We're on page 108. Remember, we're less than 6 degrees of separation from Lin-Manuel Miranda now. I'm just saying. We have still not gotten over that, so we've contacted him and get him on the show here. But hey, less than 6 degrees. That's pretty cool. Good morning. You are stunning. Use your power wisely. Our good night tonight is good night. You are stunning. Lay down your burdens. Ladies and gentlemen, there's your graphics. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, or birthday month. We're going to party again. We're going to be there in person. Maybe we'll be in the Blue Ridge Mountains with Rose. Who knows? We're going to party, though, and when we do, I will be there with you. I promise you that. But no, until tomorrow at more 8 than ish, that you and you, but most especially you, yes, you, I see you there. You're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. It's time for me to figure out what to make for dinner.